Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. Momentum stocks, that's what we're going to talk about next with Mike Vodicka. Mike is our momentum stock analyst at Zacks.com. Boy, has he brought a couple of winners for you here today. Literally and figuratively, let me tell you. First one being Wonder Auto Tech Incorporated, WATG, the ticker symbol. I've never heard of the company, but I guess they're in the automotive business in some way.
Yeah, they are. I had never heard of them either. They came across one of the screens we had at work this week, and it was a fairly interesting company. They're based out of China, and what they do is they design and develop electronic components for cars, things like alternators and starters. Now, the reason I thought it was interesting is because of the whole story of what's happening with China. Their economy has been expanding, gangbusters for the last couple of years, and they are a little bit depressed right now, but still they're posting strong GDP growth. And what that's done is that's translated into a lot of personal wealth for their citizens. Mm-hmm. And so they're doing things like purchasing cars. So the auto industry in there has been strong, and that dynamic has showed up in the company's sales numbers, which have been really good. They reported first quarter results in early May 4th. And the revenue was up 29% from last year, top line growth. That's pretty impressive. And their income was up 30%, came in at $10 million. Well, actually, I wanted to say their revenue was $40 million. So if you want to look at the margins, that's fairly impressive. They did $40 million of revenue and $10 million of income. So that's a pretty nice spread.
Sure.
Since then, their estimates are up. The long-term projections look pretty solid here. There's been a short-term spike in the share price, but on a longer-term basis, analysts are projecting 18% earnings growth next year. And then moving over to the chart, seeing what's happening on the technical side is the stock really started to take off in early March with the market. It was trading low $2 back then, and recently it topped off over $7. So it's more than tripled in just the last 2 months. It's pretty aggressive growth.
Sounds like one of those ethereal companies, Wonder Auto Tech. All right, and here's one that more people might be familiar with, Priceline.com. They are in the travel business.
That's right, yeah. I'm sure many people are very familiar with Priceline. They provide discounted travel services, deals on things like flights and hotel services. Priceline was a really big time high flyer in 2007 and also for part of 2008 before kind of taking a little bit of a beating in the market downturn. But since then, they've recovered very nicely on both the fundamental side and the technical side. They just reported first quarter results too on May 11th, and they had nice growth in sales. Sales were up 15%. They beat on the earnings front, produced earnings of 86 cents a share. That was 13 cents more than what the analysts were looking for. So we've seen their customers are coming back, customers are spending money, and that's kind of played into the economic environment with, the consumers are chasing bargains, and that's really the meat and potatoes of what Priceline does. Estimate picture looks good. Current year is up. Next year estimate is up. The next year estimate is projecting 14% earnings growth. That's pretty solid. And then, getting back to the chart here, this stock actually, what I've noticed in looking at these momentum charts, which I do, which I spent a lot of time doing, is that
got a little ahead of himself.
What I've noticed is that there's a certain group of stocks that took off in November when the market bottomed out and have been going up since then. And then there's another group of stocks that took off in March when we've seen the more shorter term rebound here. This stock here has been rallying since the end of last year, so they've got some nice longer-term momentum. And since then, it's gone from about $52 and recently across $110, so it's just doubled in the last 6 or 7 months or so. So that's a pretty nice gain on a short-term basis.
All right, do you own either of these two?
No, I don't.
Just so excited about these two today for some reason. If you want to check out some more momentum stocks on Zacks.com, go to the homepage that we maintain. Look over in the upper right-hand corner, and next to the momentum listing is a headline. Click on that headline. It'll take you to the most recent story that Michael has written about a company that he calls a momentum company, and then an archive of some others. With Mike Vodicka, I'm Terry Ruffalo.